Good morning, Davia.
Morning, Grace. How are you?
I'm very well. Congratulations on taking up the role of President for ICF Australasia Victoria. I'm very excited about it and really looking forward to our conversation today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty excited too.
We're doing this video for the benefit of our members because a lot of our members are spread around Victoria, so it's really good to learn a bit about you and hear about your vision for the Victorian branch. So maybe we can start off with you telling us just a little bit about yourself, your work, your life, your world.
Well, every profiling tool I've ever done and used has had me as a considerate helper or a supporter or something similar. And I think that's always been the way ever since I was a student at high school, participating on school council, being vice president of school council, right throughout my children's education. I've got 3 kids, and I've always been on school councils and playgroup committees and all of those sort of things. And that's my commitment to improving the community in which I'm living and part of. And Matt, my husband, has always been really supportive of all of my endeavours and commitment to community, and he's always there behind me and supporting me in whatever I do.
So Davia, how has being a member of ICF and a credential coach helped you in your work?
Well, I think there's 2-part answer to that question. The first part, and how does being a member helped me, straight out of my certified coach training, I joined ICF very near the beginning of becoming a certified coach. And this just threw me straight into an arena where I got to be with other coaches, professional coaches who were doing the work that I wanted to be doing, that were passionate about the sort of things that I was passionate about. So I immediately felt that I could start to grow in that space as a professional coach. So being a member, going along to communities of practice events and things like that really just lifted me straight away into being a professional coach. Being a credentialed coach means that I now have a feeling of certainty that I have done that training, I have done that hours, and it gives me more confidence when I go to my clients and I say, yes, I have the skills and experience to work with you.
And Davia, having been involved with ICF in Victoria branch for many years, in fact longer than I have, how have you seen the branch evolve?
I've seen a real increase in the opportunities for connection and participation that we're offering the network of members through community practice events, extending them to an online virtual position so that we can cater to people who are in rural settings or outer suburbs and can't get into the CBD. You know, I've seen a retention in our members year on year, so that, you know, people are obviously feeling that they're getting some value out of their membership, and you know, they're connecting in more ways and they're offering to participate and be involved.
Coming into your role as president, what's your overriding vision for the Victorian branch?
That I'd really love to see the great work that we've been doing over the past couple of years sustained and built upon. And I'd love to see us in action around the strategic pillar that involves external stakeholder engagement. I think it's vitally important that we build more knowledge and awareness of the value that we provide and that we're committed to upholding.
Imagine ourselves at the end of 2019. What would you like our members to be saying?
I guess I'd really love to hear the members talking about how they have been actively involved and benefited from their membership. talking with excitement and enthusiasm about what they might want to do next, and making suggestions that align with their own development needs, or asking how they can be more involved.
What would you say are some of your greatest strengths, and how will they contribute to your role as president?
Well, I'm a bit of an all-rounder. I've had a portfolio career, everything from fashion design and hospitality to human services, education, arts, small business. And what that's given me is a capacity and a level of empathy that really aids my connection with people. So connection and community have always been and continue to be my passion.
Great, great. And on the flip side of the coin, Davia, what is your growth edge, and how do you develop yourself in this area?
Well, as a parent of young adults, the challenge is to give support so that they can create lives for themselves, and to, at the same time, teaching them to live as equal household members, and letting go of the control and the need to do everything for them. I have a habit of doing rather than asking. I'm impatient and idealistic. This is not helpful behaviour and doesn't allow my kids to make mistakes. So when I reflect as a leader, I know I need to be aware of this element of my own nature, and really make sure that I give plenty of support to the LT and to members to create the Victorian branch that they desire within the boundaries of our strategic plan and within the team agreements.
What's one short-term action you would recommend for the Victorian leadership team to expand the value proposition of the Victorian branch?
I think that's getting connected and getting familiar with our members at communities of practice, at coach cafes, online. The more that we know about our members and them about us, the better that we can serve them. Start a conversation with someone you don't know. Be part of conversations on LinkedIn and Facebook platforms. Share posts with your networks. Be part of a bigger picture. 2019 is ICF Australasia's 20th anniversary, and this is our chance to spread the word about setting the gold standard in coaching. Let's start a bigger conversation.
So Davia, when you think about the broader, outside of the branch, the broader chapter, right? What strategic direction would you like to see us move towards that would demonstrate a greater presence and impact?
Well, Grace, I'm pretty lucky that I recently got to attend an off-site strategy weekend in which I got to meet all of the Australasian board and Australasian branch presidents. And having done that, I'm now really excited about being part of a much larger team, a team that's more united and that has a strategy to move forward with, and you know, as a chapter as a whole. I believe that there's some systems that can be streamlined and replicated chapter-wide, which would free us up with our volunteer hours to do more locally with members rather than on paperwork and details. I believe that the branches working together and collaborating more at a chapter level will help make us greater than the sum of our parts.
So what expectations do you have for your leadership team and how you work together?
Well, I'd really like to see the leadership team take the lead on their portfolios, but I'd also like to see them collaborating and working in partnership, because I think that this will keep them more engaged and their efforts sustained with, you know, in a volunteer position.
Great. At the end of your term, what would you like to be remembered for, Davia?
Well, I'd love the members at the end of my term to say that I've done a good job of creating collaboration and partnerships at both branch and chapter level. And I'd like people to be able to say that I listened and acted with integrity.
So Davia, I know you've got busy life, right? You've got work, you've got family, you've got ICF. How do you keep balance across all those domains?
Well, it's not always easy. And I guess I really just like to escape to the country every now and again. I've got a place in the country amongst the cows and the rolling green hills, and I like to get there and get some fresh air and get out in the garden. I love taking photos, drawing and sketching, just spending a bit of time in nature. It's good to get away from the city.
Great, because I love seeing your photos as you go through that driveway, and it just looks such a serene place, and it just looks like it's Davia's happy place, right?
Yeah, yeah. I like to take a photo every time I enter the property. I drive up from Melbourne and just see that driveway change with the seasons. Great way to checking how often I've been there.
Thank you. So Davia, now if you're sitting in a room full of members, what would your one message to them be?
Get in communication with the leadership team, with each other. Ask how we can collaborate.
Thank you. Well, Davia, all I can say is I wish you all the best in your new role. I think I've said this many times. I have absolute confidence you will make ICF Australasia Victoria proud and take all this work that you've been part of to another level. So thank you very much, Davia. All the best.
Thanks, Grace. Thanks for taking the time.